think Pauly Shore recommended you.
Damn, you remember all of that.
Dude, I remember everything because I was working. I wasn't passed, but I remember that 11 weeks later, when I was passed, I already had forgotten about you, right? And you were trying to get into the main room, and I was right there. I was there with my white T-shirt, Comedy Store T-shirt.
Right.
And you trying to get into the main room to the back, and I went and I put my hand down. Hey, where you going? He goes, man, I'm going to the main room. I'm performing. And I said, all right. And I said, go ahead, man. I put my head down. Fuck, that was fast. So, hey, David, that shit motivating, bro. They were doing a show upstairs, and they needed a comedian. I fucking took my T-shirt off and went to perform. Came back. Chewy was yelling at me. Remember Big Fat Chewy?
Because you left. Yes, I
left.
Chewy, of course. Because you went to
I didn't think they were gonna notice. That they noticed
immediately that you were gone. You know what's so funny? It's so funny that you say that because like only thing I remember is us constantly working together at the Ice House and just how much I hated following you because you were so funny. Like it was like this is so ridiculous. Like I knew when I walked in, if you were up, I was like, okay, this ain't gonna be good for nobody. And then I haven't seen you in so long, and then boom, I look up and I'm like, look at you. It's so good to see you, man, and everybody else. This is what it's come to, huh? All of us.
It's what it comes to, man.
Am I the only one who's very excited to see somebody other than the people that I'm in my house with?
I'm excited to hear voices.
I'm getting tired of staring at those motherfuckers.
It's unbelievable.
Behind the scenes, dude.
That is hilarious. Oh man, it's been good.
I can't lie and say I'm in the next room. We have 5 rooms. Anyways, everybody, David Arnold had a Netflix special that was produced by Kevin Hart and Dave Becky, and it wasn't like one of those specials where, hey, David, here's $1 million. Here's a special for you. No. This shit was all DIY. He had to do it himself. And man, congratulations, you got in.
Dude, I thank you. Man. I got to be honest.
You got in, bro. This time it didn't take over. This time it wasn't overnight.
Right. It wasn't my first my first showcase. Dude, I'm very excited about it. I did it myself, and it 100% knocked out the 2 originals that they released that week. I think it was Taylor Tomlinson and
awesome.
So it was kind of cool to I'm not trying to shit on them, but
validated.
I'm getting goosebumps, bro. I'm excited. Look at it, I got goosebumps. Good.
Listen, everybody.
I'm getting the chills.
We all know as comedians how long it takes for us to get our voices out there and to do stuff. So when you finally get a chance to be heard, it's kind of dope. You know what I mean? And it trended the second day it went up, it trended for 15 days.
Oh man. Hell yeah. You always been funny, man. Because I remember one time we were hanging at the Comedy Store, myself, I think Yorsi, and the other young comics, right? Yeah, man. Yeah. And you came in with your car. I don't know what kind of car it was, but it was small. It was a beige jalopy little car.
Oh, and that was my Infinity.
And you were blasting Thriller, dog.
Yeah.
You were blasting Thriller when I wasn't really cool anymore. That's when you always been an OG Michael Jackson fan.
Yes, to this day I'll still blast Thriller when the feeling is right.
I remember one time, what's his name came into the Laugh Factory and you did Michael Jackson. Quincy Jones.
Oh my! How do you know that?
I was there that night. I was working there.
This is your life.
That's right. I remember that. Was I hosting the show?
Yes.
Doing his.
You were hosting
his material because you're so. I was like, he's changing it up. He's doing Michael Jackson.
Oh my God!
It was good.
Bro,
Quincy has probably seen a million Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Bro, you ran to your car and told the valet to bring your car. You got your silver glove.
I forgot about that night until right
Bro,
now.
I remember another time I saw you, man. You were that comedian were in Las Vegas, and me and Lisa were walking, and your homie was wearing a fucking brand new denim suit. Rodney Perry.
Rodney Perry. Wow.
Like, bro, that was like a denim suit. And
yeah, I believe that.
he looked like he was your handler.
That sounds about right. Rodney would wear, because Rodney always wore suits. So I think that's definitely probably about right. God, you remember more. You have said 2 or 3 things that I've completely forgotten about. That's unbelievable.
I know, because everybody, like when I see like Leslie Jones and Tiffany Haddish, and I remember, I always tell myself, yeah, there were 2 of the comedians that performed with me at 1:30 in the morning.
Yes,
After all the comedians left, because they didn't want to follow Dane Cook.
That's
so
right.
they had to flip the 3rd show with the 1st and 2nd show.
That's so. Listen. I remember when we first got in. When I got in the Comedy Store, none of my spots were before 11:30 or 11:45 at night for the first 2 years. Like for the first 2 years, unless I was in the main room, if I was in the OR, even in the main room, it was always late, whatever the latest spot was. But like, you would go up and it would be like 9 people on the stage, and you would show up at 8 in hopes that you would get up, that somebody wouldn't show up. And I would watch the crowd go from 300 strong down to 9 people. And they'd be like, all right, Dave, you're on. And I was like, this is some bullshit. But
Work your magic.
That's where you get strong at. That's where you got strong at, was in those little small rooms. So I appreciate all of them now. That's crazy. I forgot all about this stuff, man. That you remember all of this. This is really great to hear.
It was crazy. Like I remember the first time I did the Douglas Sunday, and I think Chris Spencer was hosting.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like Latino night or every night where everybody hangs out by the bathroom and trying to be a player.
Yeah. Exactly.
Man, he had people telling other comedians, "Now you gotta go upstairs. No hanging out by the bathroom."
They still do that now. If you go over there, they still hanging out by the bathroom. I'm like, some of them is the same people that was by the bathroom.
Bro, I've seen people do bad sets and still hang up in the bathroom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
For sympathy.
Sympathy points.
Hit that exit, player.
no,
Hey, David, were you in that movie about bombing?
About bombing? Oh, wait a minute. The
With Sully McCullough.
It was a documentary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did one quick little piece in that. I think yes, I was.
What was your worst bombing?
My worst bombing was at a club in San Diego called 4th and B.
Oh shit, yeah.
And I was doing stand-up down there, and I went down there to see my boy Carl Banks perform. He was on that night. I was supposed to be headlining the week after. So I went to watch him, and they were like, hey, since you're here, do you want to just go out and do a little guest spot just to get a feel of the room so you know what it's going to be like next week? I went out there and started doing something, and they weren't having it. When I tell you, I don't know if you've ever been booed by 3,500 people, but the wind from the boos blows you off the stage. Like that shit was so humiliating.
Damn.
And I wasn't gonna go, because like that night after you leave the show, they hand out flyers for the comedian for next week, and that my picture was on the flyer. So they were like, "This is the motherfucker we just booed." They was throwing the flyers. I was like, I called Carl. I said, "I'm not going back." He said, "You got to go back, because if you don't, you're gonna see this crowd again. Like you got to go back and face that fear." And I rewrote my act and went back next week and I killed. But that night, I've never felt anything like that. I sat in my car outside in the back of the theater for 2.5 hours, just sitting there like, what?
Hey, man. Hey,
Did
David.
Huh?
Did you wait by the restroom?
Right. That's where I should have been, right? That ain't where you want to be. Not when 3,500 people walking by. You don't want to hear everybody tell you
like,
shit.
The 4th and B had a lobby for the restroom. So you could get into a fight at the lobby for the restroom. You get into a fight by the bar. Man, people get into a fight waiting in line at that place back in the days.
That place was packed. It was so huge. I could not believe that.
and they only paid $200.
Probably. And I thought I was coming up. I thought I was killing. I was like, I got $200. I'm winning.
Hey, David, like sometimes as a comedian, an OG, an older comic, you try to like take a young comic with you to like, hey man, my homie's funny. You ever take someone with you and you told them it was funny and they bombed?
Let me tell you what I did. I don't even want to say his name, but like there was a TV show that was booking and they needed a comedian because somebody fell out. They were like, we need somebody, we don't have enough. I said, I'm telling you, I got a guy. I think I must have had a nice conversation with him like 2 days before, but he was like on my mind. And when I tell you, I sent him over there to the theater, and in the middle of his set, the producer called me and go, what the fuck did you just send over here? I heard about him for 2 years.
Like good stuff about like hype.
He was horrible. He died. He was so bad. And everybody just kept going, who sent him? David Arnold sent him. I was like,
damn.
Stop telling. It was the worst thing I had ever seen. Nothing worse than what. Other than that, the other worst is when you're on the road and you get a comedian and they're opening up and they're just horrible.
Eesh.
You know that you got to dig out. You got to dig them out the entire time. Like, oh, it's like, dude, you're not helping. You make it like, don't even go up. I'll do everything. Just go.
Like talent scout.
Oh man, the worst is when you got to ride home with that fool, or that was your ride.
And listen to him try to explain it away.
I'm just gonna tear up this check.
Rodrigo, tell David about that one time we were hanging out with somebody who bombed and they were listening to a tape recorder in front of us again.
Oh, this motherfucker was outside. It was in Rosemead at Casa Latina, listening to him bomb. And then Joe Diaz just snaps, turn that fucking shit off. We don't want to hear it again. The fuck is going on here?
Hey, tell David about when Joe Diaz told us about bombing and he was doing my jokes and everybody else's joke with bombing with him.
I did Willie Barcena, nothing. Felipe Esparza, nothing. Rudy Moreno, they booed me off the stage.
I did Freddie Soto. They said, fuck you others down.
I forgot about that part now.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I love Uncle Joey too. Every time I see him, I'm like, every time I talk to him, I go, are you good? You good? You sure you feeling okay? Because you look like one cheeseburger away and all this. Every time that's him sitting down. He just be sitting there. God damn, I haven't seen Joey in a minute, man.
He's doing good, man. He's still doing his jujitsu.
The sweeps.
Wait, this is what I saw at the Comedy Store. Is it Don Barris is still the last comedian on the list?
The Ding Dong Show?
He still has a Ding Dong Show on Monday nights.
No. Okay, that might be, okay, I believe you.
But he's the last guy, period, not on the list, right? Every night.
He's always the last one at 1 o'clock, right? Or 1:45 or something.
It goes to like sometimes during the morning.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even, I don't know if he goes that late anymore, but he used to.
Last time I was at the Comedy Store and I looked at the lineup, which, like a month ago, and he was on the list and he was the last comic, like won something. I went, I cannot believe he's still going at 1 o'clock, 1 in the morning. Like, aren't you sleepy? Isn't it over?
That's when my dealer shows up.
Anyone said, aren't you sleepy?
Aren't you sleepy?
Let me tell you something. My spot is not before 12. I'm not going. I'm not going.
You're Elon Gold, huh?
I can't do it. I promise you I can't. There's no reason.
I don't know. How about that one dude that would show up? Remember this guy? He will show up and shit, and he has like fucking Robert William Abadaya.
Did he have a plastic bag over his head?
Yeah, he will go up on Sundays late at night. Yes. Old guy.
Yes, I remember him. God, I can't remember. I can't forget I forgot his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Hey, when you made it that first showcase, what did Mitzi tell you? Did she grabbed you by the crotch? You made it, or what happened?
Nothing. She just said to me, she said, I don't remember. She's like, I love you. You're going to be fantastic. And I want you to perform in my main room. And I was like,
Wow.
and I didn't know what I had no idea what that meant because that was my first time in the Comedy Store ever.
Awesome.
Like, I didn't understand that it was levels. And so like when I first started going up, every time I went on stage, everybody would come into the room. And I really was naive enough to think, oh, look at this. This is such a supportive group of people. I didn't realize this until maybe 8 years later, that these motherfuckers were like, who the fuck is this guy that got picked up and got put straight into the main room? And they told me that had never, and I found this out literally 7, 8 years later, that had never happened since
Never.
10 years before with Eddie Griffin was the last time she had done it.
Wow.
And I didn't know any of this ever. And probably my ignorance was probably best for me though, because I didn't know anybody. I didn't know, I didn't know Mitzi. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know the history. I knew nothing.
You didn't know the lingo or stuff like that? Like the lingo too?
Like, no, I didn't know. I didn't know any of that stuff. Like I didn't know. Like literally, I knew I was showcasing on this night for 3 minutes, and I said these are the 2 jokes I'm gonna do in this one little bit that I do, and that was it. And when I came off, I was walking out. She grabbed my arm and was like, "I'm gonna put you in my main room. You're just fabulous." And I was like, oh. And that was it. And from then on, I was like, literally, I was on the stage. From now, I think I have. Hold on, I think I have it. If I'm not, oh man, I think I have the. I don't have it. I have the lineup from that first night that I ever went up in. Like my first, I got the lineup. I don't know where it is though. Somewhere around.
That's cool,
but
man.
I kept it, and I put it in. I laminated it and kept it.
Hell yeah.
That was,
It was
that was
probably-
big.
It was
That
probably
big shit.
it was probably the Todd.
I think it was Retha Jones was on the show.
Damn.
Mike Rica.
Yes.
Yes.
That is right. That is true. How do you know that? All this shit.
I was staring at the lineup while I was working the door.
Haiti.
That is hilarious. I can't find it. As soon as I hang up, I'm gonna find it. Watch. Now I want to find it. Now if I would have known that, I had it ready.
When did you start off doing stand-up comedy?
I started when I got out of the military in 97. I started doing stand-up in Maryland. And I just started
Maryland.
Literally, I did an open mic for about 6 weeks. I did open mic at this little pizza shop outside the military. And then this USO's Comics on Duty tour came through. And I went and found the guy who was running it. And my mom happened to be visiting and convinced him to let me do 5 minutes to open up for the regular comedians. It was James Stevens III, Harlan Williams, and somebody else. I can't remember who else. And my mother convinced him, and he let me do 5 minutes. And the guy offered to let me go to like all the other military bases around that area and open up for him.
Oh,
So like immediately, I just started like, they were like, you want to host? And I was hosting this thing, and I've been doing stand-up for like 6 weeks. And then when I got out, I got out the military. I just started, he gave me another job. And then I don't know, I think I got picked up by some management company out of New York. And the next thing you know, I was on the road for 2 years doing stand-up. Like,
That's what you went with Pauly Shore too for a while, right?
No, that's the thing. I met Pauly when I was out on the road. I was featuring for all these people. And I was in Atlanta doing punchlines. I was the feature act. Then there was the headliner, right? Then that was on Thursday night. Then Pauly Shore came in on Friday and Saturday. So what they did is we all bumped up. So the feature act went to the MC and the headliner went to feature and Pauly headline, right? After the first show, Pauly called the managers of the club and switched us. and he made the headliner host and had me feature because I guess the guy was like, they were pissed. You know what I mean? Because like, I guess it was an insult to the guy who was headlining before, you know, and that's how I met Paulie. And Paulie was like, you know, you should showcase for my mom when you come to LA. And I was like, just getting ready to move to LA. So I did.
Awesome. And then you did like, do I remember I ran into you a year and a half after you made it through the showcase, and you told me that you had did already like you had went to already all the improvs, and I was like, damn. Yeah, you were featuring for somebody. Like, you were hustling then, huh?
I was. Oh, dude, only thing I wanted to do was be a comedian. Like when I moved here, I didn't know anybody. I didn't have one friend, one address, one piece of advice. No, I had literally 2 trash bags full of clothes and 2 addresses to 2 comedy clubs. And I didn't have a car, nothing.
Who did you look up to as a comic? Who was your idol as a comic? Or who were your
at that time?
Yeah, when you say all you wanted to do was be a comedian, like who did you look up to?
It's so funny. At that time, the person that made me laugh out loud was D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley made me scream. And I was like, this dude, like he was one of the dudes that made me go, oh, I could, he's telling these stories, I could do that. I mean, obviously you got all the people that we've been influenced by Carlin and Richard Pryor and all, you have those greats, but DL was the first guy that seemed to be in my stratosphere. It seemed to be somebody that was, oh, maybe this is something
attainable. Yeah,
exactly. Where everybody else seemed like they were way too far ahead. It was just like I was a kid, you know what I mean, in Cleveland. So DL was the one that made me go, oh, I can do this. And then when I started going out on the road, like literally, I just started featuring on the road, and I just learned how to be out there and talk shit and talk for 25 minutes. Like I figured out how to do it. And when I moved here, shit, I showcased for everybody one time, literally. Jamie Masada, Mitzi Shore. It was like every place that I went showcase, I got in. It was one time, and I was in. Which now 24 years later, I finally get a Netflix special that I had to do. Now, what's great about it though is last week I just got a deal to do another one.
Awesome.
Good for you.
So I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited about it, and it's so great because they were like, how soon before you have another hour? Like when you've been doing it for so long under the radar.
Tell them.
Good.
Tell them.
I'm ready.
That's
go.
what
you know what I mean? Like
that's what what's the name told me. What's his name? The one that rollerblades on stage. We had him on a podcast.
Tom Rhodes.
Scruncho.
Oh damn.
He goes, Scruncho told me that.
Oh yeah.
Roller skates.
He goes, when they gave me my special, shit, they're gonna get ready for 7 of them.
Nice.
Scruncho's got to
It's
say.
true though. You got so much comedy and so much live when you were doing it for so long.
And that's the thing, everything, and you can take anything and turn it into comedy. So like literally when we had our production meeting last week with the people that I'm doing it with, they I'm ready to go. Whenever they open shop back up and I can go out here and run it for a few months, I'll be ready to go. So I'm very excited about that.
When did you make the deal to sell? So that you shot this special Fat Ballerina before? I mean, you shot it and then sold it to them, basically, right? They didn't.
Yes,
it wasn't a Netflix production.
No, it's not a Netflix production. I shot it myself in Cleveland, in my hometown. I hired an all Cleveland film crew. We redressed the club and literally shot this thing and brought it back. I edited it myself. I did all of the legwork, and my manager Dave Becky gave it to them, and he was like, "Listen, dude, they love this shit. They like the material. I think they like the fact that you can tell it was shot. You can tell it was independent. It was shot in a comedy club, and I think they love that. And when we released it, my social media platform helped launch it. And when we released it, literally the second day it was trending, and then it was up at #1.
Right.
So like I was like,
That's
wow,
great. That's
it was
great.
kind of dope.
Yeah, we did his second special for we did it for ourselves, but we sold it to HBO. That one's gone from HBO now, so we're gonna see if Netflix wants it next. But he has a Netflix special already coming out this year. We already
In
shot
Spanish and English.
Spanish and English.
That's dope.
Yeah, so that's
And then
two
1 hour in
That's
Spanish and 1 hour in English.
back to back. So
Is it the same set?
pretty
just in
much
two
like
different
90%,
languages?
yeah, like 90% the same. There's like a few extra ones in both
yeah.
languages that aren't
Of
in the other.
course.
But
That's so
coming out.
fire, man.
That's coming out later. And then I'm hoping, since they don't have anything in production right now, that we can kind of slide in and say, hey, you want this other special we did for HBO a couple years
That'd be
ago?
cool.
So they need
And you know
stuff.
what? That's great because that's dope because even if they do it backwards and they release the one that he has now coming out, this one in Spanish English, once it kills, then they're gonna accept and be like, hey, take this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer, man. That's fantastic, dude.
That's good. I'm glad you got an offer already in like your first couple weeks of having it out. That's awesome.
Where'd you film Fat Ballerina at, David?
I filmed it in Cleveland, Ohio, in my hometown, at the Improv.
Oh, at the Improv right there, the Cleveland.
Yeah, October of last year, and so we did it there, and it worked out. We did 2 shows. It worked out really nicely, and I was happy for what we did. I was very happy with it, and I pulled out some material that I don't do anymore and did it for that.
That shit about your dad is hilarious, man.
Oh, thank you, man. That
Also the one
got their attention.
Yeah, my favorite one was when you said that about when you argue with someone on a phone as opposed to a cell phone, you can't hang up the phone right, like angry.
What?
Like, you can't go like that.
Yeah, your old joke. I remember that joke. He said, "This is not giving me the effect I was looking for," or whatever he says. Yeah.
How do you slam the phone and it does the door with the stopper and it does this?
Yeah,
oh my God.
Like the hydraulic
I
doors.
forgot about that. This is.
I saw Joey Medina do it. That's why. Just kidding.
Reminding you. Oh, hey, that's a.
No, I love the jokes about your kids and your family, and I showed you that one a couple of years ago or a year ago.
Yeah.
The one about getting the divorce, which I think was going to be the premise for a show at one point, right? Staying married because you
we've been stalking you.
Dude, that's crazy. But this is so funny that you said that. That same show that we sold to 3 different networks and never made it to air, literally last week is now being redeveloped.
Oh, awesome.
And like the same people that are doing my stand-up special are the same people that's developing the show now.
For Netflix?
No. Well, the special is going to Netflix. The show, they have a deal over at Amazon. So we'll pitch to Amazon first, and then obviously if they don't want it, because she has a deal over at Amazon, if they don't want it, then we'll go elsewhere. But we're literally in the middle of there it is. I just got finished doing rewrites today.
Let me just screenshot that.
Is the process the same when you're pitching to a streaming platform as opposed to pitching to a traditional network? Like the process of developing this story and doing an outline and doing, getting everything approved every step of the way? Are they that involved?
Yeah. It's the same. The difference is when you're writing for streaming, the way they want it to be cliff, everything to cliffhang, to make people want to click to the next episode, to let it keep playing. You know what I mean? So that's different between I just got finished writing on a show I produced called Fuller House on Netflix. I did 2 seasons for that. And, we wrote that show a little bit differently because even though it's streaming, they still had a network kind of mentality about the way they did stuff.
Like syndication kind of style.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit different, but it's been very interesting. This show we're developing for a streaming platform because we feel like it would best fall in this type of, the look and the feel and the tone of this show.
Is it a single cam?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Huh?
Is it going to be a single cam or?
It's a single cam. It'll be it's a single cam, and we got notes. I spent literally all day today addressing some of the notes that the people that are the production company, the people that are behind it want me to do before we go over there. So you know, you just, when you've been doing this for so long, you just get used to, you know, all of that shit, you know, all the process of everything. And it's like, all right, this is what we got to do. So you just go through it and just, you know, see what happens.
You know, while I was like reading something about like most sitcoms, they don't really like back in the day, they didn't want really like big story arcs because they wanted to show the episodes like out of order, you know?
Yeah.
That's why
Yes.
I heard like in the cartoon King of the Hill, when they started aging the characters, they told them to stop because they're like, yo, we can't fucking show this out of order, you know? Like,
Because you can't sell it like to
Damn.
an affiliate. and then-
Exactly.
yeah.
You don't want to do that, and especially when you're doing like an animated show. Like, why do that? Like,
Yeah.
I think they were trying to be creative and cool, probably. To
Yeah,
add
and cartoons, you're right. They're supposed to be like timeless. The people, they never change.
yeah,
They can blow each other up, and then
yeah. Maggie
It's
is
called
still the
floating
same age 20
timeline.
years later.
Yeah, man, you can't have a cartoon that's gonna be woke in 2 seasons.
No, you
Yeah,
can't. You can't. You got it. Like
For
literally.
real, man. Every show that started off funny and then the character got woke, it got canceled.
Always.
The first one was Rock.
oh yeah, he started giving speeches about the hood.
Charles S.
trying to build
Dutton.
up the hood.
Always.
like-
Particular episode.
We liked him as a trash man.
And that was it. And that's all we wanted you to do. Collect your
political
trash,
activist.
kick your legs, and sit
Just
out.
like when Arsenio Hall was doing good till he brought Farrakhan on the show.
Ooh.
It was 100% over. As soon as that, it was that.
100%
Hey, hey, hey. When he got off the stage, they were taking down the letters. Eh?
Where's my A? Don't you worry about where it's at.
Don't you worry.
It's not there no more. Got rid of your A. That's so true, man. But you know, and you know, and let me ask you this, like, you know, it's one of the biggest things for me that made all of, because like literally all of this stuff was supposed to happen 4 years ago when I had my deal to do this television show. I also had a stand-up special attached to it.
He said all this stuff was supposed to happen 4 years ago.
It's supposed to happen. It was
Talking like a true comic.
Let me tell you something.
I was supposed to blow out 20 years ago, but I'm in the
It's
Matrix.
supposed to happen. That's right. It's supposed to happen. Let me tell you something. Felipe, you know this. You work,
That is
and you know
schedule.
you put in the work and you busting your ass. You know that eventually it's supposed to happen.
You're feeling it
Yeah.
like a gambler, like it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. There's no way I can put in all this work and it's not coming.
That's how
Like-
Hollywood fools you, though. You keeps giving you a taste. Or
It does.
you're writing on a major show, or old Dave Bucky's your manager, and you know, like I know Kevin Hart's number.
Yes.
Like I should be.
And then the next thing you think it should happen. And that's what you thought. You thought you were walking in with a group of people that were invincible. Like you were like,
Oh,
so who's going to turn on the cameras? I mean, I know we're doing like this is where we were 4 years ago. And when all that shit went south, that's when I picked up my phone and I started posting stuff on Instagram and Facebook, like just because I
you start
needed
doing your rants, right? Like
Yes.
And that's when I
And you started touring with, what's her name?
Oh yeah, Kim Whitley.
yeah, Kim Whitley. Yeah, I put
'Cause I
that.
remember I would see your poster at shows that I was at.
Yes,
Like,
but I put that together because I started trying to find ways to connect my face to my comedy.
You guys are funny together though too. Like when you sit on stage together. I don't know if you did that at every show, but when you and Kim
Yeah, we
were-
do it at when we do it every show.
yeah.
Kim goes up, then I go up, then we go up together. We close
That's
every
cool.
show like that every time. Yeah, and it works. And it's like I use that in the social media platform. You know, like I figure like 18 months ago I had like 1,600 followers.
Yeah,
And
because
now
I
I got
remember
700
that you killed it one time. I don't know, you guys were talking, and you had Kim on your show. You guys talking about Valentine's Day.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think we
they're-
might have done a Valentine's Day show.
Yes. And
Yeah,
it was-
yeah. And we did a whole thing, dude.
You were roasting. You were like roasting her about not having anybody.
Yeah, that's probably about right. That sounds about right. That sounds.
How
like
did you hook up with her?
Me and Kim been friends for a long time. Like I don't know if you she used to have that room called Whacked Out Wednesdays at the Ha
Yeah,
Ha
at the haha with what's his name?
with Jack and everybody and Buddy Lewis over there.
Buddy Lewis. Yeah, that was a good
Yeah,
one.
and so I used to do that show over there. And then one day, her story is one day I was performing. I've been performing there many times, but I guess her parents were in town one day and they were watching the show, and she said that she saw her parents laughing in a way she had never seen them laugh before. She's like, they've been to all these shows, they've seen everybody. She's like, why are they laughing like that? And she went in and sat down next to them and watched me. And I was doing this story about my parents and my father or something. And that's when Kim like saw me, and like, oh, and then we just became friends. And now she's like my sister now. Like we FaceTime every day. We just, and we love traveling together. It's actually a lot of fun. It's like, it's very easy. It's very easy to do. So when we're on the road together, it's like,
she's quite the inventor, huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
she invented some cool kid stuff. Like
What she invent?
She invented a little thing to grab.
to like install a car seat.
Yeah,
like-
when you
It gets stuck in between the seat.
Yeah,
Yes.
like to pull the
Sure.
thing through. She said if you have big ass hands, you could put this thing through there.
inside and
She
grab this.
invented it, and it sells it
Wow.
at all these stores now, like $9.99 or something like
Yes, yeah,
Ah,
Kim
great
has
for her.
Kim has done really well with all of that stuff. So it's been, it's been
Yeah.
dope.
that. Dion Cole invented a fucking head scratcher.
Yes, the little head.
I remember. Okay, I went to black schools when I was a kid, but I remember girls would be like this. Like,
Yes.
it was before they had to get their hair done because the chemicals would burn any small scratch on your head. So this thing is like nicely beveled at the tip, and so it won't really make a scratch in your scalp. But they would use pencils, but even that will leave a little scratch. But
He tried to bring back bell bottoms too.
and he's doing it too. Only Dion Cole could pull that off though. Only Dion Cole could pull it off. Like when he did it, I was like, this is kind of cool. I guess this is what we're gonna be wearing now. Dion Cole is
I guess that's what we're gonna be wearing.
I guess I need to get a pair.
David said, "Oh shit, I'm gonna go get some now."
I'm gonna wear that with my Birkenstocks. What's up, Martin Rizzo? Are you still working Uber or Lyft?
Instacart.
What does that mean? You gotta go grocery shopping and get stuff?
Yeah, you grocery shop for people, you go to like all the main stores.
This guy's picking out your avocados if you order your groceries online.
Yeah.
He just learned how to pick out an avocado last week.
He's manhandling your bread.
I didn't even think about that produce.
I didn't know there were like 10 different tomatoes, guys, or potatoes.
Roma.
He's like, what's a Roma tomato? Like, it explains a lot of mistakes in my
He's the guy that if you order 5 nectarines and they don't have any, he'll bring plums and peaches.
I got this grapefruit.
They're round.
You order almond milk, I'll bring you regular milk,
Yeah.
It's the same kind of.
You said milk.
So you're still doing it? Did people strike? The Instacart people?
No, not yet. I noticed that they started adding more money on the thing. So I guess that more bonuses.
Oh.
So I'm thinking that
you're going out into a hazardous workplace.
Fucking war zone.
Yeah,
hazard pay. Yeah.
Yeah, then you should get all of that, and you should get a ventilator when you go.
Yeah.
Just throw one in.
Yeah.
Hey, David.
They gave us like these digital Costco and Sam's card clubs, and I used it to do regular shopping for myself. Fucking yeah, man.
Why not? Shit.
Wait a minute, you're supposed to do that?
Probably not.
What? No,
Paid for by the customer.
He doesn't really know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I mean,
they give you a Sam's
They
card.
just write it off. Who knows?
It's free in this world, dog.
I bought like a big old bag of dog food because like you can't go in there without the Sam's card,
yes, that's right.
So I just went there. It says my name on the card, so I'm like, hell yeah, dude.
You might as well use it. I'd use it. Shit.
You guys
David, when did the pandemic hit you? Like, oh shit, we're gonna be staying home now. When did it finally hit you that this is serious?
Oh, like 2 weeks ago. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like I told my wife, I was like, this is not, they're messing around, but it's gonna take us a little longer than everybody because we're an arrogant group of people.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And we
You mean
just,
us as a country?
as a country,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? Like they think we're fucking around, but we're not. And everybody's like, yeah, we'll be back to work in June. I was like, no, we won't. Yeah, we won't. And everybody, this is what cracks me up. Everybody's acting like they're dying.
Mhm.
Like, oh my God, I can't, like, oh, this must be what prison feels like. No, this ain't prison. You got cable, and if you with somebody, you got somebody to fuck, you got somebody to talk to. It's a whole
Hey, somebody said it right. We're like we're in prison, but like in Goodfellas.
yeah, exactly.
House
are
arrest.
Fucking food
We
in
are
there.
living up in here. Like I told me and my wife, like, I mean,
I got wine for the bread.
yeah. Hey, I go for about 15 walks a day. I will say that. You just go walk.
Don't be lying.
You just gotta go outside and walk. You gotta walk around. I run. I try to keep myself busy. My kids are here with us, so we do something with them. And for sometimes, we all be off in different places. But man, this shit is serious. We're gonna be here. I don't think that everything will be back to normal until August or September.
I think we won't be fully back to normal until like next year.
Yes, I agree.
Like people's
That's probably
mentality.
more realistic right there.
Because
At least a year.
I think California, New York, maybe Seattle, like will open, or Washington will open before some other states because we shut down earlier.
Yeah.
So we'll start to open, but it's going to be a flow because we didn't have any national shutdown. And so some states are going to be okay, some states aren't. And
Yep.
then I think even like concerts and stuff, people are going to start questioning who they're sitting next to, how many people are in that big room.
Yeah,
It's gonna change everything.
Even bars,
Bars and all that.
I think AMC Theater might not come back.
They might not come back. All of AMC theaters because they weren't healthy going into this at the end of last year, and then they had to shut down because no movie theaters are open. And they said they don't plan on opening back up after this is over.
They had bed bugs a couple years back. I remember when
AMC,
the whole bed bug epidemic was going on.
Wow, I didn't know
a
that.
lot of people don't know, but movie theaters, they don't make their money off the movies. They make their money off the concessions.
Concessions, yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's like the comedy clubs and the food and alcohol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I think that everybody's gonna be different the way they like touch it. Even like I thought about this. Like this was out here in January, I guess in the United States, just small cases of it. And I remember I feel like my last weekend was Valentine's Day weekend, and I was at the Orlando Improv. And I think about all of those people, the meet and greet that I did, afterwards, because you pictures, shaking hands, signing T-shirts and DVD, all that shit that you're doing, and it's like you just lucky that you didn't. And like now, I'm like moving forward. I don't know that I want to be touching people. Like,
dude, it's like right now. You remember people that you met in a meet and greet who breath smell like shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking coughing and shit right there.
Yes. Coughing, and they come and shake your
hand. Or those drunk white ladies in their 60s trying to get a kiss.
Yes.
Trying to get a little smooch.
Those are the ones.
It's my mom's birthday. Give her a kiss.
Your mother's gonna die without that.
He doesn't even want to do meet and greets anymore.
Bro, I think about places where I've been to that were really dirty, bro. Like Bart Reed's comic strip,
Yeah, you don't want to. I don't like literally. I'll stand there and we take a picture, but like the hugging and all that. This is one of the things I noticed because I'm starting to build a large social media following. These people have a different connection to you than like celebrities that they just see in movies or just see in TV. Like a lot of my social media stuff is me in my house with my family and me going live. And so these people feel like they really know me. So when I do all my meet and greets, they hug, they want to hug you. And so how's Julie and the girls? And they know everything that's going on in my life because it's like a little reality show.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm like, now when I come back, whenever we get back to what that new normal is going to be, it's going to be like, I don't know if I'm doing all this hugging and shit.
I know, man. I'm gonna have to close my kissing booth.
Yes. You got to have some medical gloves and just give everybody a little dap. Like,
I
know. I always think about what is Joy Medina gonna do?
Oh,
Yes.
dude.
Oh,
We gotta get
okay.
Joey on next so he kisses.
But there's a lot of
Spanish.
comedians that like to touch you.
I'm
I
a
don't-
hugger.
I don't like none of that shit. I don't like none of that. I don't, man, that's over.
Yeah, like that.
I didn't
Sorry.
mind doing it in the
Yeah.
beginning, but now after this shit, I'd rather just say, thanks for coming out, give you a little pound, stand next to me, take a picture, and y'all take care. Like, I
Hey,
you know what else?
David, how you gonna deal with those people that say, "Hey, I'm a hugger, man"?
I'm not. If you've seen the Corona, it's out there. A new Corona is being built right now. We got rid of the old one. A new one is coming back. No, I'm not
And
gonna
you know
be a
what's
part of it.
nasty too? Even when people hand you like drinks that they, drinks, that they bought you, like you don't know what their fucking dirty hands, like they didn't wash their.
Nobody ever thought about this shit until now. Like literally, this is changed. This
This
is
shit can
changed
kill your
everybody's
ass.
mind.
Hey, I probably got coronavirus sitting inside green rooms.
Yes, you probably have. I probably get sick. You don't never know. I'm like, this shit is horrible. So it's a little. You don't realize in this business we touch a lot of people, and it's like, ugh.
The microphones
like
too,
it.
man.
Fuck yeah,
Felipe Esparza called me and asked me to go to the Laugh Factory about 2 weeks ago because they're streaming shows live, right?
At 2 p.m.
Yes, right. All day. They're doing it all day, right? And he called me and asked me, he was like, Dave, will you go down and do a set? We changed the microphone sponge and there's just the cameraman and you and, just do 20 minutes or whatever. And at first I said, yeah. And then I thought about it. And then I was like, I texted him back. I was like, I ain't coming. I was like, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth this little bit of money to go down there. And I don't want it.
I saw it today, and I think Tehran was hosting, and Craig Robinson was like coughing on his keyboard.
I saw a picture of that. I was like, this ain't gonna be good at all for nobody. 100% I saw it. I was like, no, I don't want it.
Yeah, so many
Damn.
people are requesting it, but they don't understand. It's not the same as like being a musician playing. So many people are asking you to go
Hell
live,
no.
stand up. It'll just sound like bombing. It will.
I don't want to do it because listen, I've seen comedians, and I don't know, I've seen comedians do shows from their house by themselves. Which is fine. But this is the part that I have a problem with.
It's gonna live forever.
Forever, ever?
I don't ever. I don't want to see them with a microphone and a microphone stand doing comedy.
To pretend that there's an audience in a room.
It's the dumbest
What's up, y'all?
bullshit right here.
Hey, my microphone, hey, my Roku. What up, y'all?
I know, just stick a hairbrush there. It doesn't matter.
I saw somebody doing it. I promise you, he had a brick wall. It was a brick wall. He had a microphone stand and a microphone. He was leaning on the mic and doing, and in that moment, it made me realize you're just going through the motions of what you think a microphone is a communication device. If you can hear me, I don't need the microphone. I was so annoyed that he had a fucking microphone. I blocked him on my social media. You know, like if I was I've honestly thought about doing like a 10-minute set of just some ideas and material. I really have. But I would literally do it like this.
Yeah.
Right. No
Which
setup.
Which is what
No
you do
production.
anyway, like a rant anyway, right?
Exactly. Why would I kill it and be like, yeah, so how y'all doing?
Me,
Yo, put up my monitors, dog.
I thought about when I'm waiting in Bonds with like 60 people, I feel like just getting a boom mic and just doing my set right there for those people.
Yeah.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, who's shopping?
Isn't that?
So you're quarantined. I'm quarantined.
Fuck around and get
a
her.
guy cough. You better look out for him. Am I right?
Hey, should we open up another line or what? Eh?
Everybody 6 feet apart.
Oh,
Who's
fool.
potential here?
Check this out. I had a bunch of groceries. I bought some logs, regular stuff. And there was this old lady behind me, and I went to go get some tater tots, and she held on to my cart. And then one of those girls that always gets away with shit by saying, "Oh, it was a lot of us. I didn't know. I was with those people, but they left me here." One of those people, right?
Follow.
So she just got in line, right? And I went like this. I went to my mask. And then that lady came, the manager came in and said, "That lady's over there. She's not 6 feet away from anybody." And then they fucking made her ass get out of line, man.
You pulled a Karen?
She put her, I didn't know. It was a lot of us. I didn't know. Well, me and the old lady were about to punch her, man.
Not know your ass to the back of the line. How about that?
Rodrigo, have you dealt with anybody being rude at the supermarket, Rodrigo?
Not really. Just a motherfucker coughing kind of close to me. But these people diagonally from me, they sell tacos, dog. So I called the cops on them this weekend.
Oh, dude.
Karen, turning people into the cops.
I don't want to be a dick, but you know what, dude? Fuck all that, man.
Oh, by your house?
What if they infect those people, and then those people are gonna infect some people, and then, dude,
Hey, that
it's
flag makes
fucking
sense.
irresponsible.
Bro. What
It's
the fuck?
irresponsible, dog.
Hey, next week Rodrigo's gonna have MAGA on that red side, eh?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So, would they sell tacos out of their house?
There's a taco man that sets up in front of them.
Oh, he sets up in front of
Right,
them.
right
Well, there
there in the
are
front.
allowed to be taco trucks and stuff.
Nah, this is a motherfucker that
Yeah.
pulls out a table, pulls
Oh,
out
yeah.
the propane, starts cutting this shit up, and there's people going over there. It's like, what are you doing? Like, I know some people don't care, but god damn, dude, that's fucking.
Yeah, we'll still occasionally go to a taco truck and pick up stuff. Not, like.
Right.
But now they have systems in place where you call in the order or you order online.
There's no call in. This guy, he duct tapes his cardboard sign to the light pole right there. It's an arrow
That
to
sounds
his ass.
tasty.
You was about to buy a real stamp, but you called
Hey,
the cops on
Dude,
the
I wouldn't say anything except
those-
they said it deemed it illegal. They can't do it.
Hey, those tacos must be good, eh? Because I know that salsa must be in a Coke cup.
Somebody called you a rata on YouTube.
I'm just doing my civic duty. If I can save some lives, then I feel good. I
He
mean,
said you're a snitch.
I noticed that ever since the taco man,
bro.
I noticed that ever since the taco man had put on gloves and covered up his face, the tacos don't taste the same, eh?
I bet you $20 that latex rubs off on it.
Exactly. I'm not.
Oh,
buying
Flavor,
it.
dog.
How about everybody that had an illegal taco business is probably done right now, huh?
100%. They gotta be.
Just there's
You
a
gotta
couple.
be. You gotta be done because they know.
Surviving. Yep.
I saw a woman over here on Lake Balboa that normally sells oranges, and during Easter she sells Easter bags. Mother's Day she sells roses.
The
Yesterday
flowers.
I saw her selling masks.
Yeah, dude.
Like she had have you seen the white styrofoams that are bald?
The
They're like
mannequin head.
the mannequin heads. You put wigs.
Wig head, yeah.
She had a fucking mask for it, like this.
Sunglasses.
She made it out of Mexican blanket. Like some of them were tigers.
Hey, that's a thick ass blanket, bro.
Yeah, that's talking about adapting to the business. Fucking.
Yeah, she pivoted her whole business to sell
Hey,
what was needed.
She said Monday don't sleep.
Yeah.
That's a mad hustle right now, though.
Hey, nobody's
You
gonna
got
take the kids.
people-
Nobody's gonna take their kids to Chuck E. Cheese anymore, huh?
Oh,
That's
no.
another thing.
Hell no.
Bro, I don't think people that work at Disneyland who have to share a costume is gonna share a costume again.
The Mickey Mouse costume.
Did they really share a costume?
It's gonna change a lot of things. Watch.
Everybody's gonna be different when we come out of
Yeah,
this.
because I
Nobody's
know
gonna
we're
be the same.
watching old movies or old TV shows, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of people in that bar. Like I'm noticing it in my head. Is my first thought when I see it.
And didn't Disneyland said when they reopen they're gonna check everybody's temperature now?
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
first.
Like
who knows how
China.
long.
Yeah, bro.
China?
This is what we're gonna be.
It-
We will go back to being what we were like when 9/11 first happened. Everybody was nice and everybody was nervous and everybody stood patiently in line and to get checked. And now they're assholes again, standing there. Why do I gotta watch? Like we will go back.
I gotta
to
take my shoes
being
off.
the disrespectful ass group of people that we used to be.
When
It's
I
just
was-
gonna take a
when
minute
I-
for us to get there.
When I lived in New York, during 9/11. I lived down in the Wall Street area,
Right.
a few blocks from the World Trade Center. It took 3 solid months for the smell to go away. And it took
Wow.
3 months before I saw somebody be an asshole in the subway station again. Like it took three solid months, but we were back to normal at that point.
A fiscal quarter.
Yeah, it really was though. And we were right in the heart of it. But if that's, I don't know if that is what's going to happen here. You know, we do as a society tend
It
to
might take a little
forget
longer.
stuff, but yeah, it might take a little longer.
I think it's gonna take longer, and people are gonna really change once they know somebody they know they got it, and
That's the
like
thing.
and like died from it, whatever age group, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Like
where
Michael Yo said he had it, but people are saying I don't even know Michael Yo.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
100%.
and
Yeah,
that was a
he's-
healthy fool, right? Like
He's healthy.
Hell yeah, he's in shape, and I'm like, I'll be fucked.
And he spent 7
Sorry,
days.
James.
He spent 7 days in ICU or something like that.
yeah, they say like fat fools,
Yes.
people that smoke weed. I'm like fucking doomed over here, dog.
Fat fools.
That's what you call the compliment person.
People who smoke weed.
Damn, dog.
But Rodrigo, did you have any more symptoms last
I'm
week?
good. I'm good. Like it, but it took. I felt like I got a little cold though for a couple of days, but I'm good now. Everything's gone. But like I told you, I haven't hit a blunt in over a
It
year.
was
But
just the backwood.
you got me. But I said I had to finish
You
my
nervous?
shit. I was nervous for a couple of days, and I
He
took some
moved
edibles.
out.
One day.
He moved out to another house.
Another location. Now we're in the bunker over here, dog. But yeah, man.
That's smart though, but that's smart to do though. If you
You
felt
don't
like
want to get anybody else sick, and then like you
Yeah.
know, you don't want to have that shit on your shoulders, and you really want to be kind and courteous to every circumstance or situation in your life, man. I mean,
Does that mean that Roxanne can't go back home?
we're just gonna go back in about 2 months tops. Right now is what we
Yeah.
have it out. If it takes longer or whatever, but just right now, if for the time being, just to
And
be
they're
aware.
okay. They don't need help. Her parents.
Nah, they're
They don't need
good.
help.
There's just 2 of them. Yeah.
I know that in China, like when you go into a subway now, there's police officers and they check your phone and they see if you've been traveling to places where a lot of infection, and if you try to get in, they whack you in the head with a stick.
It's India right there, man.
Well, and
Miscommunication.
they take your temperature because they know on their phone where they've been at.
Well, dude, that goes into like rights, and that's what they're saying that they might pass laws to fucking so the authorities can do that to us over here. You guys think they're gonna slip that shit in?
what, start whooping people's ass?
No, as far as like knowing where the fuck looking at your personal information.
Well,
Oh,
they
yeah.
already can if they
They need to
want.
lock us down. People need to go sit their ass down. That's what they really need to do.
No, that's dude. There's people still out here. These streets are busy, dog, all day.
There was some guy who hit up Felipe over the weekend saying, "Hey, I'm shooting a music video this weekend. You want to come over? Roll
Yeah, dog. Yeah,
He's
let me
like,
get
no,
over there.
I'm
real
staying home.
I said, good luck with that, man. I'm staying home.
quick.
Yeah, green screaming in there, bro.
Dude, people are pissed off that they closed the beaches, that they closed those hiking spots.
Closing the parks on
Yes.
Friday.
Unbelievable.
Did you see all those like in Israel they got a fucked up problem because all those like traditional like Jewish people, they go out there and they have to go do their ceremonies,
Yeah.
and that infected a lot of people and getting a lot of people killed.
Oy vey.
They need to go sit there. It's too much. Like people got to 100% realize that it's not gonna go away until we be still. Like
I know
somebody said,
it's
when
like it's like when the
True
teacher's
shit, man.
giving homework or detention until you guys
Right.
all shut up. But
Right.
nobody was-
everybody shut up and just sit still and
Yeah.
and just
Shut the
be
fuck
where you-
up, dude.
be where you're supposed to be so we can get
At least-
back to what we supposed to doing.
At least now people are kind of traveling less because my girlfriend works at the airport in Long Beach. Today there's only 3 flights for the whole day.
Wow.
And they haven't laid her off.
Not yet. They're trying to like what's it called, put people like on leave right now, but people are
Furlough, yeah.
like, I'll clean the kitchen, you know.
That's one of those last hired, first fired sort of jobs.
Kids,
Right? Is it union? Is she a union?
I don't think she's union yet.
Yeah, she's going. Yeah.
I can't believe people are still flying.
I know where they going.
Joe Barone said that Burbank's pretty fucking dead, dude. You're just standing
Oh
around
yeah,
all day.
you can walk through that bitch now. I'm sure.
Yeah.
They don't even check you.
I bet you they still have they still have those guards annoying everybody. Hey,
Just go.
hey!
You know, now
You
I
ain't
see
gotta
you
have
with,
no ticket to get on.
I see
Huh?
you with your glasses on, and you look a lot like Mike Epps with your glasses on, and you and Mike could play like brothers or
Mike
something.
Epps wish he looked this good.
I mean, with the glasses, you get similar look.
Mike Epps
Hey,
wish.
speaking of roller skating, he was roller skating the other day. In his
What?
house, he was roller skating the other day. I feel like getting my roller skates out.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw him on his live doing that.
He also was doing a Mexican. Oh my God.
He did a Mexican guy.
He did a Mexican guy listening to oldies, and he had this big ass mustache, and his head was shaped
Yes, I
pretty
saw that.
close. He looked like a dark Mexican. He really did. Like, we're
He-
thinking of
he-
him for this movie. We're doing it. We're writing and putting.
He could be
together.
Chocomiclo and Blood In, Blood Out.
Yeah, he'd be great. I have an idea now for him. Now that I saw that.
So hilarious. That's so hilarious.
I worked with Mike Epps in Detroit, and he brought a kangaroo on stage.
That was the night.
He's the original
That
Joe
sounds about
Exotic.
But that guy was pretty eccentric, right? The guy who had the little exotic zoo in Detroit.
Yeah.
It was a fucking exotic zoo.
Oh, the other guy, right?
It was,
is that
I
the-
don't know who it was, but somebody he hooked
The
up
one-
with over there.
Right. Joe. No. It was somebody else. The one that took over after it was over.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't, it wasn't
No,
him.
I think Dean Del Rey is gonna play him.
I said,
Who?
Dean Del Rey. He's gonna play the other guy with the long hair and the beard, eh?
What do you mean, who, man?
He doesn't know who Dean Del Rey is.
This motherfucker said, who?
He's a comic.
Come on, brother.
Hey, man, I want you to do my cast.
You never seen me and Marin. Me and Marin
I
the cook.
believe you. I believe he's.
Me, Marin, cook, Delia,
All those guys.
Diaz,
All the heavy hitters.
all the heavy hitters.
Hey, Felipe, are you doing Dean? Who are you?
Diaz. I don't know what I'm doing.
I only hang out with beef.
Marin,
All those guys.
Classic man.
classic.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Ah.
You got shows coming up?
This motherfucker. In the living room.
I told you. I
you-
told you that I'm gonna do a set here from this chair right here. I'm deciding.
I'm working on my one-man show.
Hey, one time I saw
Perfect
David
time.
Arnold
Perfect
and
time to do it.
hey, sometime I was on the road one time and I had a little ass roach and I threw it out the hall in the hallway, went back in, and I was eating my fucking junk food. I turned the TV and I see David Arnold playing a parking meter cop, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm over here doing comedy in Timbuktu and shit.
How do you?
I didn't know you kept such track of his career.
He is remembering shit that I forgot about. I'm
Look,
like,
this
what?
guy has.
And no, man, every time I feel shit like shit, I see you on TV.
I'm learning a lot about my husband too.
No. Sometimes, man, like when you're like on the road and you turn the TV on and you see one of your friends on television, it's like you start laughing and go, wow, it gives you hope because you're that close. You're like, you know what? I know him.
Yeah.
See somebody you don't know, you know, it's reachable.
It
You
does
know?
make you
Well, that's
feel
why
that,
he was-
but it does let you like.
Yeah,
when
it's
I-
like how with
reachable.
the
DL.
first special, I was like, you glad that you see people continue to do their thing.
Yeah. I think that's why a lot of comics were happy when you were Last Comic Standing.
I think that was Entourage you were on.
Entourage, David.
Yep, that was Entourage. I did
That's
that.
right.
I did that. Yeah, I did that there. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I remember that.
That's
I
cool. How
remember
long
auditioning
has Dave been your manager? That's good.
Dave, 6 months officially, but we've been working together for like 4 years.
Because you worked on that Hollywood
like six-
Husbands, right?
But that had nothing to do with Dave.
Oh, no? I thought he was-
I did. I wrote Real Husbands of Hollywood. I mean, that's just off the strength of my relationship with Kevin.
right.
You were writing a lot of that?
Me and Dave.
That's his creation.
Huh?
That's his co-creation, right?
That's a
Who?
funny show, man.
Real Husbands of Hollywood. That's your co-creation, right?
Not me. No, Chris
Oh,
Chris
Spencer.
Spencer.
Oh, Chris is.
No,
Oh, that's right.
No, Chris Spencer co-created that. I did that because of Kevin, but Dave and I got to know each other when me and Kevin were performing at the Laugh Factory one night, and Kevin was like, "I want to do a TV show with you," and so he brought Dave Becky to come see me perform, and that's where we started to, then we went on the road and we sold the show, and we just been constantly in contact. And then like I guess about 6 months ago, Dave just called me on the phone. And he was like, "Dude, I want to manage you." He said, "Because I've never seen anybody work hard like you do." And so we did it. And the first thing he did was this Netflix deal for me.
That's great.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's been great, man. It's really, I like Dave. Dave is real, and Dave is who he is. Like if you work hard to put some shit together, Dave is gonna get you. He's going to do the only thing you can ask, which is to get in the room and get a legitimate chance to pitch your idea. That's all. That's all he can do. And you can't ask for no more of that. Because some people spend years just trying to find somebody who can really get them a meeting.
Yeah.
A real meeting. You know what I mean? And
You have to have like a laundry list of the things you want. The last when he switched to ICM as his agent. I'm his manager technically, but
right.
When he went to ICM as his agency, I said, "Look, we want a special in the next year. We want to sit down and get packaged with a writer and do a development deal." And they made all those things happen within a year. And even if the
Down the
first
board
show
too.
didn't go, he went across the board, but the show that we developed, or he developed at that time, didn't go anywhere. But we got sold to ABC. They paid him not to have a show, basically. But it's nice to see them listen to you and deliver, and that they get you, and that's a good thing. That's hard in Hollywood.
Exactly, and that's the thing, to find somebody, because I mean, I can 100% say the first 10 years or so that I was out here, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about the business. I didn't know how to find an agent or manage. Like I didn't know any of that stuff. So I spent a lot of time doing stuff that had I known anybody, I probably would have not have spent all my time doing this, because I felt like, oh, I should do, because I was just going, I guess I should do this and do this and do this. And you don't know. So like now, when you get to this place, when you've been doing it for 24 years and you get somebody like Dave, it's the best time I've gotten all this experience, and like I'm ready, and I have so much shit that I've worked on to be able to go and hand it to somebody who can actually make it legitimately happen. That's kind of dope. So I feel good. I'm blessed to be able to, because you've been doing all this work for years, and now you finally get somebody to go, let me see that, let me read this, do this, and then the next thing you know, you're sitting down across from fucking the head of Netflix and the head of Amazon, and like literally. I remember one day we pitched Netflix, Amazon, Apple TV, and Hulu all in the same day.
Damn.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I never had a lineup like that before. I was like, Jesus. And we sold the show to two of them in that one day.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and you really realize, it's not just the idea, it's also the package that you put around the idea now. That's what it's, so Dave is, and because Dave represents everybody.
Yeah, that's another thing.
He can set you next to a 800-foot, 800-pound gorilla and be like, y'all go in there and sell this shit. And so it's been, I just want to prove that I'm worth the time. That's all. That's all you just want to do, is just do the work. I remember, this is so funny. I don't know if you had this, when we were on the call last week, we were talking about the next special, right? One of the things that they asked me, they were like, because they ran off all these names of these directors, these Emmy nominated, like all these directors that have all this, right? And one of the people were like, well, Dave, do you have any idea or wish list of directors that you'd like to direct your next special? And I gotta be honest with you, I looked at him and was like, what? No, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, no, I've never, only thing I care about is being funny. I don't think about no direct. Like that's your shit. Like
Yeah.
if I'm not funny, I don't care who directs it. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like if it's not good, so like for me, I know my job is to be funny. And you got the director and the artistic and all that bullshit. If that's what y'all want to do, that's fine. And Dave, when the meeting was over, Dave called me. He's like, I was so glad you said that. Because most people would try to act like they know and start naming off directors. I was like, Dave, I don't give a fuck about none of that. All I want to do is all I wanna do is
It
fun.
doesn't even matter really, because I asked Neil Brennan to
Yes.
direct Felipe's last special that we
Yes.
filmed in January.
Yes.
Because Neil had expressed interest after he saw his second special and say, hey, why did you reach out? So we reached out about this one. So then he goes, well, I'm kind of stopped doing it because it's kind of boring, basically. Because all they do is look at shots, which shot, wide shot, tight shot, wide shot,
Yeah, that's all they do.
I think the best directors for comedy specials are just comedians because they know timing.
Yeah, like
Like
they
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter, I don't think, for comedy specials. There's not a lot of
Yeah, I think it's you want somebody who's done it so they know the pitfalls and the things of what to look out for on the technical side.
Yeah, and I want my only concern when I'm producing one of your, because I've produced 4 now.
Right.
My concern is that the director knows how to direct a live show.
Yeah,
They
you
know how to communicate with the camera operators at different positions.
Yeah.
They know when something's going wrong,
Yeah.
and that's my concern. So
That's it.
they can't do that.
Yeah, because if not, the shit'll be it'll be horrible. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's I personally don't. I'm looking forward to not worrying about any of that. You know what I mean? And just being able to just be a comedian. Like because I've done it for I've done 2 other specials before that independently on my own. So
Comics Unleashed.
Huh?
Comics Unleashed.
That ain't a special.
I did Comics Unleashed, but that ain't one of those special.
You know what's funny? That's another thing I've seen you on.
You've
Late at
seen
night.
everything I've done. You've seen shit that I forgot I did.
Yeah,
Bro.
You know those
Duh.
checks keep coming in from Comics Unleashed.
Hey man, the other day I got a letter that said I won a lawsuit with Byron Allen. I said, all right, send the check.
I didn't know we're fighting the lawsuit.
I was like, all right. I felt like I picked up one of those community chess cards from Monopoly that day.
Hilarious.
Oh, Byron Allen.
Man, so glad that you got your special and you have your show, man. So what's next?
Oh yeah.
Thank you, man. I'm like I said,
The other special.
I'm getting ready. We're literally developing another one, and I'm back out. We're redeveloping this pilot that I wrote. I am in the middle of. I was writing and producing a television show for Nickelodeon that we just stopped last week. So we had to halt production because of the climate and everything. So once we back to normal, I think we have like 12 weeks to shoot this show. So I'll shoot that, and then I'll be going out on the road for like, I think I want to do like 4 months on the road to get ready to go out and then shoot the next special sometime at the top of next year. So, just that and my social media. On social media, I'm the David A. Arnold. I'm David A. Arnold across the board. So, I'm gonna continue to post stuff from home and
not to be confused with David Arnold, the film composer.
Exactly. That's why I use David A. Arnold, because
I was going to say it's like Vivica A. Fox.
exactly, you need it, because if not, it's a whole different person.
You need
Michael
that.
Jordan or Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Exactly.
Michael B. Jordan used to be on my soap
Michael B.
opera.
Jordan.
I know.
Joe Rogan or
See?
Dr. Joe
Exactly.
Rogan.
So you need
No, Michael B.
or
Jordan
Dr.
was
Joe
on.
Rogan.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan was on All My Children. He played Reggie.
100%. Exactly. So
If you guys, if you get this David Arnold, it's not David Arnold.
The fool got a cold sore or what?
Exactly. He
David
hit
knows
me
who
on
that
Twitter and said I didn't know I was a funny black guy. And I hit him and said, I don't know, I'm a white dude, and I want my money.
There are all these black Twitters following that guy going, who the fuck, this guy is not funny.
At all, this guy's dying.
Who?
Like this.
Get him out of here. He's the worst.
Hey, David, I know that we've been quarantined for 2 weeks. What's the craziest conspiracy theory you have heard this week?
That black people think that they're immune to the coronavirus and they don't wear masks or gloves. I heard that too.
Bro, did you see that Donald Trump had to bring the doctor in to let everybody know?
Because he doesn't know the answer. Because he doesn't know shit.
Nothing,
He
bro.
goes, let me tell you, man, sickle cell will kill coronavirus.
Wait, what?
Sickle
Captain.
cell.
He's so stupid. It's like, I tell you, I literally just have to mute him. I just mute it. You know what it's like? It's like watching kids lie to you about not having eaten all of the donuts and they have donut shit all on their face while they're lying.
It's not funny anymore, dude.
Huh?
That shit ain't even funny anymore.
Hey, it's just like you can't believe the bar is that low.
Yeah, man.
Can't believe.
Let me tell you, man, you want to get rid of coronavirus, all you need is water, cornbread, and spoon cake.
Spoon bread. It's spoon bread.
That's all you need. And Pence will be like, yep, that's all you need.
Don't forget those zinc pills.
Stupid ass. So,
Man, but there are people who don't get it, man. They actually believe everything, man. You could go into one of those wormholes on that shit.
I don't, but yeah, I and that's why I don't. Like, I literally have to step away from the TV and all of the news on, what from wherever it's coming from, and just have to.
It freaks you out, man.
It freaks you out.
That shit's gonna make you sick.
Yes, every time you cough, you're like, oh shit, I got it. Like every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude.
Like after I watch CNN or one of these news stations, you're like, I think I'm dying. I gotta go.
Tickle in my throat.
Yes, exactly. It's like, oh my God, my hands won't stop. I can't stop doing this. I think I got it. Like, everything makes you think you got it. I'm like, I started streaming. I started binge watching TV shows. I come in here and write. I go for a run. I go in my gym and work out. I spend some time with my kids. I just can't and sit my ass still.
Have you found yourself, okay, because Felipe, as much as he will not admit it, he's getting a little stir crazy.
Of course.
Am I?
He's making like hundreds of TikTok videos that aren't making the cut. So that like he's really like, I think he's going
Not making the cut?
well, like you're not posting all of them. You're like, oh, let me look at this, let me try this, let me try this.
I'm about to bungee dive now.
He's gonna release them in the future, like Tupac. On those,
Hey, this what happened when I coughed in front of Jesus.
So are you doing anything, being home all the time, that's driving your wife crazy? That's like, I mean, you said you guys spend some time apart in the house, which is healthy, I think.
100%. I have been in this office since
It's
11
3
o'clock this morning. And she's in her room next door over there. Like we'll have dinner and then we'll all with the kids, we'll talk, and then maybe we might watch something on TV for a little while. But like, I think the biggest, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like, it hasn't gotten to the place where, like, shut the fuck up. Like, it ain't got there.
You're not resentful yet.
Right, exactly.
What
The fuck is that?
quick player.
Dummy.
What?
Rodrigo has a dummy.
Man,
Oh, let me see.
fucking Lord help me, I'm about to choke a bitch.
Can't see it.
Right here, dog. I'm right here. What's up?
Here,
man?
look.
Oh shit, there it is.
Yeah, what's up? Hey, I'm about to choke.
Higher.
Oh, you gonna see my hand, dog. You gonna see
Yeah.
my hand. You gonna see my
My
hand.
brother didn't have TikTok. He has a dummy.
You gonna see my hand. I was like, fuck.
Oh my god.
Expresses
So
himself.
good by the time quarantine is over. He's gonna be so good.
Quarantine like a motherfucker. Like,
Yeah, work on that,
I'm
right?
about to look and choke a bitch on here. She asked, how the fuck am I gonna eat 10 and touch 6 days a week?
That shit look demonic, bro.
What are you
All right,
doing?
y'all.
That is hilarious.
Felipe, I need some animals, player.
Ah,
I was fucking tripping out. I was looking at that fool going, fuck, let me bring him up. But it hasn't got crazy yet. But you know what? When is somebody actually going to snap on social media that we know? Like, going to have a breakdown? It's going to
Johnny
happen.
Rocky.
We're about 2 weeks away from our first meltdown. We're about 2 weeks away. Somebody gonna have a meltdown. And it's
Hell
gonna be
yeah.
the person with the biggest house on the most. Like, it's not gonna be somebody who you would like one of these little social media stars who has like 12 million followers, but they live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, it's gonna be somebody who's sitting on a 15-acre estate somewhere that just can't take it no more.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Somebody, dog. You know that shit's coming. You know that shit's coming.
It's 100% coming. It's 100% coming. So
You can wrap this up.
I saw a picture. I saw a picture today of a woman pushing her baby in the supermarket. She was covered up, and everybody else was covered up, but the baby was chewing on that rail.
Bro.
On the cart, on the shopping cart.
On the shopping cart handle, he was like that, like a little baby.
That motherfucker was teething. He was teething.
Oh my God, man!
How
They
old's your baby?
better throw that shopping cart away.
8
How old's your-
months.
8 months old.
8 months, huh? Like that.
8 months.
Do you get scared when he coughs? Like, oh.
He's gonna start standing up soon. He's gonna start like pulling himself up.
He started working for a cart too now.
He's all squirming right now, crazily.
Yeah,
just like,
yeah, they can't
ready
stay
to rip
still at
out.
that age.
Hey, somebody sent me this picture. Hey, my lady went to her mom's house and stole toilet paper.
Ah, she has it right there, dog.
Oh,
what
it's
is
under her
wrong with
shirt.
you?
That's a good one.
Hilarious, dude.
I know, bro. Like every time I perform in Oxnard, I take a picture with this guy, and I'm pretty sure that after this coronavirus, I ain't gonna take this photo no more.
Oh, the guy who
Talk,
piggybacks
so
you.
talk, so it'll come up. Talk, say something, Felipe, so it'll switch up to the thing. You
What
gotta
up?
hold it up and then say something, so it can. Now,
This
say
guy right here,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna take photo of that guy no more.
Yeah, he gives you a piggyback ride every time. That's like
Motherfucker got a strong back.
He's a big guy.
Love
Oh
that.
yeah, I'm not gonna get close to this guy no more either.
Hey, you gotta do oh no, that guy.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
That
dude.
party?
Eric Andre.
Nasty, dude.
Bro, we went to Eric Andre's birthday party 2 years ago, and this motherfucker had 2 guys walking around butt naked with long penises.
And that fat chick, fat lady.
And they may have all been homeless.
Oh no. Oh God.
They look like somebody's uncle who crashed the
Nobody
party.
wants to see that.
Martin was there. Martin, you were there, right? You would.
I was there, yeah. That for sure. Like, if it was happening today, that'd be like Corona for sure. That whole party. Disgusting.
That party, they were like wrestling in chocolate pudding, right? The women.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty coronavirus party.
And everybody was passing the same blunt.
Yeah, ain't nobody
Okay.
doing none of that kind of stuff.
None of that. I never
All
participated
that's
in
over.
that. Mm-mm.
That's over. Yeah.
All of that's
Blunt-
over. I'm wearing gloves.
Blunt culture's over. Sharing.
We can wrap it up.
Hey, Fraser Smith is not gonna be going, hey buddy, no more.
Ain't nobody gonna be doing nothing. You're gonna start doing the nod. Like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? That's it. You know what I
Everybody's
mean?
gonna
I
walk
see you.
around.
Yeah.
Everybody is gonna walk around like Neil Brennan.
That's right. And Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give fist bumps like Stephen Wright.
Like with your shirt.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
about right.
All right.
What's up, people? Go watch Fat Ballerina on Netflix.
David Arnold.
David Arnold.
Hey, Arnold.
Pleasure, brother.
Hey man, I had a great time, guys. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
See, this filled up a little bit of my day. So now I ain't got but
Don't forget, people. Comedy Store trivia. David Arnold was the first and only guy that goes straight to the main room, and I went straight to get a white T-shirt and work the door. Bro, you don't know, bro. I had to have Cheryl Shepard sit on the right-hand side of her.
Terry.
Marilyn Martinez on the other side, just for people won't bug her while I'm on stage.
Yeah.
That's great. That's hilarious.
Because he did it 9 times before she paid attention.
That's unbelievable.
Because everybody always.
Everybody's talking to her while
Yeah.
she's.
Because she's never there. She was
Yeah,
very
so
valuable.
I had Cheryl Shepard on one side and Marilyn Martinez on the other side.
So nobody would talk to her. Why?
Yeah.
I did that a couple of times. I remember later on because people would talk the entire time, and I'm like, dude, shut up
Oh.
and let her pay it. She's gonna be here for like an hour.
Yeah, she was like
Like
limiting
talk
her
to her
time.
outside.
Starting
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've seen that happen. So. But
Oh yeah, Dave Tyree was talking to her when I was on stage.
fucking Dave Tyree. Where is he at?
Somewhere taking out a little bump out of his hat.
Crazy.
Is somebody representing him in I'm Dying Up Here?
I don't know, man.
Oh, I thought
Is
somebody
that? But
was.
that's.
I haven't
wait a minute,
watched
the
it.
TV show.
Yeah, the one on Showtime, but I never.
Is
watched
that still on? I think it's off. I think
It's
it's
off.
over.
But it
Yeah.
had 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah, they did 2
Yeah.
seasons. Right. I thought. Yeah, I'm about to say.
But
thought
I think there was a guy that you thought that that Eric Griffin was maybe
Eric Griffin's character looked like Dave Tyree.
like a hybrid David Tyree and somebody else, maybe.
Yeah, I know Eric. Yeah.
Because I
yeah.
think Al Madrigal's character is kind of a Latino comedian at the time, sort
Right.
of kind of an amalgam of Latino comics at the time.
Right.
Freddie Prinze or some shit.
Freddie Prinze.
Freddie Prinze type, yeah.
Freddie Prinze.
David Arnold could have played Boom Shakalaka.
See, that's the comedy story, everyone. I want to see. That's the show I want to see. They're really,
That's why cocksuckers not about the hee-hees and the ha-ha.
somebody needs to make a show about the time when comedy wasn't booming and the Sunset Strip was dead.
Yeah.
When
That's
you
what we
guys
were at.
started, when you guys started, that's how it
nothing.
was, right?
It was
Dead.
nothing out there.
Nothing.
It was, bro, it was sad that, it was so sad that some comedians didn't give a fuck. Like some guy named the Todd, he would show up with his dog.
It was so bad. I didn't think, and I didn't know anything about the climate to even know that was the climate I was in.
Yeah.
Bro, it was so bad. Fat Tuesday was like Friday and the rest of the week was Monday.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what it was like.
But they never
Yep,
paid
that's
attention.
exactly
They never
what it was
gave
like.
Fat Tuesday a chance, though. They never did more than leave it there on Tuesday. And then once there was something popped off, right, with some gang members or something like that. Somebody got shot, and then it was just,
Oh,
Yeah,
the comedy store, yeah.
yeah, then it was just over.
Yeah, I remember
I remember like in 2008 taking dates to the comedy store late at night because there's nobody there, like for the Ding Dong show, and going all the way to the back. Nobody
What
was
was your
there.
move?
Nobody.
Hey, that's my move, bro. I will give girls a tour of the hidden doors.
Who want to see some ghosts?
I'll be like, okay, right here is where all the comedy store letters are at for the billboard.
Stupid.
The marquee letters right here.
All right, let's wrap it up. Let's go.
Guys, I had a good
What's up, fool? Thank you, David
Oh,
A.
yeah.
Arnold.
Man,
Right, Rodrigo Torres,
Yeah, man.
James.
Bye, guys.
Later, man.
good night.
Bye
Guys,
bye.
be good, man. Be safe.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Bye-bye.
Late.